What do you envy about the opposite? Peeing on the side of the road, in the forest without crouching and trying to avoid your pants, shoes. Edit. Okay, I appreciate things like the shiwi exist and may consider getting one if I take up more hiking in the future. However, I'd still rather just be able to whip my parts out and do it without equipment. If it makes you feel better, 90% of the time the last bit of pee goes in our pants no matter what we do. Edit. Please stop messaging me to push on my taint, lol. I get it, thanks. Yup, you can shake it like an abusive boyfriend, but there will still be a little bit coming out as soon as you tuck it in. The trick is to stroke up once, twice, that should push out the rest, then you shake. No pee in pants since I learned this. What if you stroke up thrice though? Well, at that point you're just masturbating. Not having to deal with the monthly bloodbath and all the good things that come with it. Edit. Wow, was not expecting this comment to blow up. Thanks for the awards and hang in there, girls, guys and werewolves. Woman gesturing okay, light skin tone. It's hard being a werewolf. Ah yes, the two genders, werewolves and vampires. We vampire, please, I got lost for a second. We are talking about blood drinking vampires and wolf like werewolves, right? I'd love to experience like a year of just no pain, no cramping, no bloating, no. Well, you get the idea. I have cysts and endo, too, so it's extra fun even before and after my period. It really just is never ending. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I've had great success with the Mirena IUD. I haven't had a period in 15 years. I live like a man, it's fantastic. Other forms of BC affect me very badly. I seriously envy her orgasm, yeah, lasts about 2 seconds for me, then I'm done. There's ways to extend this through breath work and muscle tensing. It works. Edit. Lots of questions on technique. It takes practice, but start with male kegels to strengthen your pelvic floor. Tensing those muscles as you approach orgasm helps the ride last longer. Also, take deep breaths while you are coming to the edge of orgasm, and try to breathe through the sensation. This both heightens and prolongs the orgasm experience. Breathing is key. Holding your breath, which most people do, makes the orgasm shorter. Deep breaths make it longer. Right after the initial wave hits, keep stimulating your penis through micro movements, easier if you are masturbating versus having, but works either way. You know the overstimulated response where even a small touch almost hurts. Touch just enough to that spot to create pleasure, but not so much that it overdoes it. Some strokes or squeezing just to the side of the head usually work. Over time, this reduces post-nut don't touch that sensation and increases orgasm duration. I practice this while masturbating and usually during, and frequently experience shaking orgasms that go on wave after wave for at least 30 seconds, feels like an eternity. I've had a couple of partners remark they wish their orgasms were so intense. 10 out of 10 would do the work once they realize the benefit. Side note, anal stimulation and prostate orgasms are a different thing, but OMG 11/10 would do that again. Yeah, but just remember how many times she's had with someone and not had one. As a man who has difficulty reaching orgasm due to years of being on antidepressants, I get the worst of both worlds. Sad face. As a woman with lackluster orgasms, I feel the opposite. I'd trade my equipment in any day for a man's. I feel like this is the Reddit equivalent of would you rather have 100 duck-sized orgasms or one horse-sized orgasm? What the cinnamon toast did I just read? It's from the age-old question, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck? Answers vary. Where can I get one orgasm-sized duck? How big is an orgasm anyway? At this point, a size of a Jolly Rancher. I almost threw up in my face mask. The word, nodule, has been ruined for me ever since that post. If I go for the duck, does my dick twist into a corkscrew? This is the first comment I wish I could afford to give an award to. I haven't laughed so hard at something in a while. Thanks for that. Sometimes people say great things like this, 100 duck-sized orgasms or one horse-sized orgasm. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with this unit of measurement thinking face. I believe the question is, would you rather have a lion's orgasm or a pig's? I'm over here thinking you meant rubber ducks. Like, yeah, I'll take on a horse-sized rubber duck. And then I realized ducks were a thing. And how annoying they are being normal-sized. Ha 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 ha, at how easy they assume 100 orgasms is as easy as a male orgasm. Have you ever tried catching a duck? Ducks are easy to catch. Try catching an angry goose. Are you trying to get me killed? Being able to play silly games with babies or young children without people automatically assuming you're up to something nefarious. Yes yes yes. I told a story on another AskReddit post about how I used to be a summer camp leader, and any time I would interact with a child that is more than just talking, I would get dirty looks from the middle-aged women that also worked there. Meanwhile, the girls that worked there could hug the kids, get them to sit on their laps, and show affection, and none of the ladies would bat an eye. One time a girl was leaning against my leg, and I was telling her to stop, but instinctively she would continue doing it after a couple of minutes. When her parents walked in, they pulled me to the side and told me how their daughter touching my leg made them uncomfortable. It made me feel so shitty, people seeing me as a potential predator even though I just love playing with kids. It turned the job I once found fun and amazing into a job that was stressful and one that I had to be careful with anything I did. Edit. So apparently a lot of people have seen my previous comment about this in the other AskReddit thread. Next time I'll make sure to tell a different story to switch it up, haha. Oh my god, I remember seeing your comment. And yeah, as a woman it's definitely weird to see that people just assume I'm good with kids, and I don't even like them. I have this one memory of being in a park with my dad, and I wandered a little from him. A middle-aged lady came up to me and asked me where my mom was. I told her I was with my dad. I then pointed to my dad, and walked over to him, with the lady following. She went up to him and asked where my mom was, and when my dad replied that she was at work she gave him a really confused look and asked, "Isn't that your job?" I didn't really understand what she was talking about at the time, because I was pretty young, but now looking back at it I get kinda mad that that happened, like geez, is it not okay for me to just hang out with my dad at a park? That infuriates me. When I was little, pre-K, my mom was the manager of her workplace, so she was gone before I got up and home after my nightly bath. My dad had to learn how to style my hair and was in charge of picking out my clothes, etc. People had a hard time believing a man was capable of braiding hair and picking out matching girls' clothing. He was a wonderful father, but it's not like he was committing feats of epic proportions. He was just being a dad. Shitty social stereotypes like that are the reason dads struggle so hard to get decent custody arrangements. Most states even automatically award biomoms full custody unless the father files in court, and often by the time it's all sorted out he has missed out on precious time with his child, Ren. When we were fighting for custody of my stepson, my husband caught so much hell merely for wanting a 50-50 split, which they had done off paper for as long as SS had been alive anyway. How could you take him away from his mother? Meanwhile, we physically had him far more than half the time because she would rather party than put him to bed. But of course, how dare he? Eye roll. My older brother was a camp counselor when he was 17. He got fired for being too affectionate with the kids. He wasn't doing anything different than any of the female counselors. No parents even complained and all the kids loved him. It really bummed him out for a long time. This was in the 90s. I was in line at the grocery with my wife a few months ago when she was huge from pregnancy and I waved at a little boy ahead of us in the self-checkout line because he had been laughing and such. His mother turned around and said, "Don't touch him," despite the fact we were 15 feet away. What a cunt. Yeah, God forbid he get any affection, he might grow up to be not you. An 8-year-old boy ran over and tackled my head when I stopped to tie my shoes in the mall. I instinctively picked him up by the pits and make my best pirate roar while he laughed, hysterically. Then my next thought was holy cow, I'm gonna get arrested.